Does the robot community believe that President Trump is into slurping toes? The answer may shock you. More on this story tonight on ATP News at 10.
How many houses do you own?
I'm unsure, but I know that I have at least one in each state.
Did you get them for being the embodiment of America, or did you buy them?
Well, yes and yes, I guess. The government gave me mere 2-story suburban homes that sit on barely 3 acres of land. I require estates and manors to house my perfect body, so I swindled a few places out of the Vanderbilts before they went belly up, and then I robber baroned the rest.
Cool, but what did you do with the 2-story suburban homes that I assume we, the taxpayer, paid for?
You assume correct, and I did an Oprah and gave them away to America, the podcast audience members years ago. But unlike Oprah, I didn't make them pay the taxes on those gifts. Mostly because, like you guessed, the taxpayers already paid them. And you can't tax an American twice, which I believe is called double jeopardy.
1, that's not what that is, and 2, do you not pay your state taxes?
I do not.
You may need to talk to a lawyer, man.
I'll do it later.
Alright, whatever. I will say, though, it was nice, albeit out of character of you to give away those houses.
Not at all. The unhoused are a major problem for my bank account. If I could, I would get rid of each and every one of them.
Dude, that's horrible.
Oh, not by harming them. I mean by housing them. It's the most fiscally conservative thing we can do as a society. Not to mention, what's that silly word you taught me earlier?
Humane?
Yes, it's also humane. How is housing the unhoused both fiscally conservative and,
Humane!
Humane! Yes, I got it.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I invite you to find out tonight on America, the podcast, the animated series.
Hello, America! It's America, the podcast!
How's your HOA, dude? Mine kinda sucks.
Oh, I have a very strict HOA. If they spot anything less than a Lexus in your driveway, it gets taken to an impound and destroyed. Are we rolling?
Sure are.
Well then, hello America, and welcome to America, the podcast, the animated series. I'm your host, Theb A Stard, the embodiment of an only hope for America, and with me, as always, is my producer, Tim.
Hello.
That's enough out of you. The American cartoon viewing audience, as well as the lesser world at large, are here to hear my very important words, which today will be about the unhoused crisis in these United States.
Which you just found out about.
And I'm willing to bet our audience didn't know about it either.
And I'm willing to bet they did.
Quiet you. I need to tell our audience something very important, which means it's time for my longest running segment. Did you know this?
Is it really the longest running segment?
I think so, but it doesn't matter. America, did you know this? Did you know there are American citizens in America that do not have a safe place to live? I know, I couldn't believe it either. At first I was like, why don't they just live in a house like me? I have 107 of them, that the IRS knows about at least. May they soon rest in peace. I was then told that not everyone can afford to rent a living space, let alone own one, and some struggle so much that they actually live on the street. After laughing for a solid hour and 37 minutes at what I thought was the best joke my staff had ever written, my producer Tim informed me that in fact there are over 770,000 unhoused individuals in these United States as of 2024. Even worse, I was informed of the existence of the terms unhoused veteran and unhoused child. Preposterous, I say. In 2024, the United States military spent $997 billion on defense, more than the next 9 largest military budgets in the world combined, and that budget will only go up. I shrieked at my producer, this cannot be true! How can a nation with so much money to spend on war allow children to live in poverty? Those children should be living in a house and pestering their parents for Pokemon cards while preparing to enter the cruel world of capitalism. And our veterans? How can our nation send these people to war and then allow them to live on the streets like those lazy bums that ask me for $1? Upon saying that totally non-offensive bit, I was told that those people aren't lazy and that maybe I should stop using the word bum. I was also shown what a dollar bill looks like, as I have never seen anything less than a $100 bill. Side note, very proud of my friend George for making it on the dollar. An amount of money I thought was easy to make if one just simply got a job. Upon questioning this, Tim not only told me about America's shrinking job market, one where any fool can make an animated series nowadays, but also about how hard it can be for an unhoused person to even get a job, let alone one that pays enough to rent their own domicile. After laughing for another full hour at what I thought was yet another killer joke made by my writing staff, I was told that, to put it simply, most of the unhoused citizens in these United States are simply stuck in a never-ending cycle perpetuated by a rigged capitalist system. Some suffer addiction and need help, some are on the streets due to one of the multiple financial crises that I and my rich friends, quote-unquote, did not make billions of dollars from. Others simply lost their jobs in 2020 during the pandemic, as well as countless other scenarios. Each of these 770,000 people have a story to tell, and each deserve better than what they've been dealt. Something has to be done, I shouted then and now. And after screaming for yet another hour, my staff managed to calm me down by letting me watch Bluey for a bit, and then informed me that there actually is something that can be done. Did you know that it actually costs less to house a human rather than leave them on the street? I know, I couldn't believe it either. Whoa, I'm having deja vu, which I believe is some sort of French disease. Anyway, one study estimated that the cost of leaving a person to live on the street is increasingly more expensive than housing them outright. Upon hearing this information, I realized these weren't jokes my staff was writing for me, as it had become apparent that my money was at stake. In fact, these people's suffering isn't funny at all, contrary to what I've been told by my friends Jeff Bezos and Peter Thiel. Ironically, billionaires like me and my friends could easily front the cost to house every one of these people right now. And to that I say, I don't have my checkbook on me. I also don't carry cash. Do you have a mobile credit card reader? You do. Well, my credit card has expired. Sorry. Maybe there's a nickel in Tim's couch?
I'm not digging for that.
Wow, you can't even lift a finger to help these literal poor people.
I'm not the billionaire here.
Wow, typical millennial, always passing the buck. Who's the lazy bum now?
Stop saying that.
At any rate, saying and knowing we have the means to solve the unhoused crisis in America will have to be good enough for now. It's like the old saying goes, the road to heaven is paved with good intentions.
Hell.
What?
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Ah, well, you learn something new every day, like the fact that the unhoused crisis could be solved within said day by taxing the absolute hell out of like 800 people max. Seriously, there's only 813 billionaires in these United States as of 2024. Did you know this?
Will it really only take 800 billionaires to solve this?
Not even. A measly $10 billion would solve the unhoused crisis in these United States entirely, and $300 billion would solve world hunger twice over.
And remind the audience of how much money you all have combined?
Tens of trillions of American dollars, as well as some of the lesser currencies around the world, as long as you're smart about it.
And just to be clear, how many billions are in a trillion?
1,000.
God damn it.
Oh, don't worry, I'm sure the billionaire class will get to caring about the poors eventually. For now, it's time for us to add to our billions of dollars with an ad from the Real American Company. We'll be right back.
It's America, the podcast.
America is brought to you by Running for President. Running for President. Channel your inner megalomaniac all the way to victory. Running for President. Available wherever freedom is sold.
It's America, the podcast.
And And we're back.
A quick question before we end. Why haven't you given away any of your money?
Oh, because billionaires are only allowed to give away money through meaningless foundations. If we give away even a penny in any other fashion, we disintegrate. At least that's what they tell us in the Illuminati meetings.
I think they made that up to scare you.
No, I've seen the space laser.
You mean the one that Marjorie Taylor Greene made up?
No, she was just being anti-Semitic. The man who runs the space laser is a Presbyterian.
Oh, right on. I guess better be safe than sorry. I mean, you thought they made up their cat god and you were
Very wrong.
So keep the status quo?
Keeping that status quo, baby! As for you, our cartoon viewing audience, thanks for watching America, the podcast, the animated series. I've been your host, Theb A Stard, the embodiment of and only hope for America, and he has been my producer, Tim. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video so that you never miss another episode. You can also subscribe to my perfect show on any podcast feed. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching. For now, and as always, good night and good fight.
It's America, the podcast.
This has been a production of Shui Media, all rights reserved. For more information, please visit shuimedia.com.